Okay, so welcome back everybody. Today I'm going to talk about a very cool product or technology called ZeroTier. Basically, it's not a technology, it's a product really, right? So what they're saying of themselves is ZeroTier combines the capabilities of a VPN and software-defined WAN, simplifying network management, enjoy the flexibility while avoiding costly hardware vendor login. So I've heard this from many other vendors, right? It's not like there are lots of marketing speech out there, right? However, I have to say, since I've been using ZeroTier, and it's a couple of years now, maybe 4 or 5 years, they've been around since 2013, I think, 2013, 2014, something around that, right? So they actually deliver, right? They deliver what they're saying, and you just have a look at this, go to the website. I put the website links and everything into the description as usual, right? But it's a really cool product, right? So, and if you look at the tiers that we have here, right? So first of all, there's the basic, which is free. So the open source I keep for last. There's the basic one that is free, right? Up to 50 network members, meaning 50 nodes, unlimited networks, one admin user only. So this is the perfect choice if you're just doing it as a home lab or just using it for yourself. And support is just community support. However, so community support is great. So no SLAs, obviously, right? Professional, which is like for the go between Homelab and kind of commercial, but not really commercial. So this is probably okay. Up to 10 admin users, still again unlimited networks, up to 500 nodes. So this is already quite sizable, right? And you got support, priority support with it, right? So that's also pretty good, but no SLA. Then the enterprise, obviously, contact them. They can give you options for any kinds of sizing that you might want to need. Admin users unlimited, networks unlimited, network members unlimited, which is pretty decent. Of course, there's available SLA, and again, this is part of the sizing that they will do for you and how they can. They're also open to have the product integrated in your product if you want to do that. Like if you have your own products, there's MSP pricing, multi-cloud pricing, IoT pricing, right? So just contact them if you want to know more about it. All in all, I have to say it's a very cool product. I couldn't say anything bad about it. And this video is no way sponsored by them or anything. They're not paying me anything for saying this. I've just personally been using this for many years and it's really cool. So with this, let's see how we can get started with this, I think, right? So I do want to show you the whole process of setting it up. So I'm gonna just set up a fresh one. I do already have my own, but for the purpose of showing you the end-to-end process, let's just assume we don't have any. So we're gonna go here and say sign up. And for signing up, we're gonna use our name. Let's use our real name here, Sigmund. Last name, of course, that's a typo. Gonna use this email address, and then we're gonna select the password. That's it. And would you like to receive updates? No, we don't want that, right? So we're gonna just say register. And that should bring us basically, that should give us an email. Okay, so once we have verified our email address and everything is done, then we can just go in here and log in with the newly created account. Typo. Hit enter, and you should arrive at this page. So we're not gonna save this. So we arrive at this page as a basic page. We have no networks yet. This is a new account, right? So we're gonna say create a network, and by default it gives you some subnet, some name, the network ID. The network ID is important. Obviously, we can change this to whatever we like it. So we're just gonna click this one and we go into the settings of the network. So let's change this here for demo, for network. This is a demo network. Okay, verified and can be used. Here we have some options to switch between private and public. Obviously, public is, I don't know, why would somebody use public? I'm sure there's use cases for it, otherwise they wouldn't have done it, right? But we will always stick to private, wherein nodes need to be authorized to become members, because obviously, if you set this to public, uh, then they cannot be deaddressed or deleted after the joint. And once somebody knows your network ID, they could join already, right? So we'll keep this to private. Managed routes, we can configure lots of different routing options here. If you like to, we keep it easy for this one, so we just leave it at this. Same goes for the IPv4 auto assign. We'll keep this switch to easy and just pick the one that they offered already, but you can change this to your heart's content, right? For example, if your internal network already uses these ranges or whatever, you just choose any of the other ones. So no issues here. Advanced actually gives you really a granular option on what you want to do, but let's just keep it easy for this purpose. IPv6 auto assign, if you want to do that, you can do that here. I don't do it for this demo today, but that's also very simple to do. And same with the broadcast enable or not, and multicast recipient limit DNS. If you want to do any specific search domain or server addresses for your personal DNS, whatever, right? So it requires a version 1.6 and above. I think the current version right now is 1.8.4 for Linux, Mac, and Windows, and I think 181 for iOS, Android, the likes of that. You can then also here in that section manually add a member. So if you installed, for example, on your MacBook, you will automatically be given a node ID. Then the admin could go here and say node ID, submit, edit. Okay. Uh, so nobody has joined this network yet, obviously. So I'm gonna show you this in a bit on how that works. And flow rules, you could configure flow rules and other stuff. That's very well documented as well. There's a huge community as well. So really good. Yeah. So network administrators, as we have seen before, the thing with that is that basically with the basic, with free tier, you cannot add additional network administrators. So it's just you who is the admin and that's it. Starting with the next tier, you could add up to 10, I think network admins with the professional tier. Then with the enterprise, I think it's 50 or it's unlimited. We can check it out later. Basically, that's it. You could delete the network here, but that's all we need to do here. We have seen everything here, so we go back to the networks overview page, and now we can see name has changed, description has changed, subnet is still the same, and 0 nodes are online or joined. So now I've prepared two things here, right? So, or maybe let me give you first a little bit of an overview on how this actually works, right? So this is a basic diagram on how this works. So we have the Planet and Moon platforms, the ZeroTier root servers, right? So there's the controller also in the cloud in this case. Well, optional if self-hosted, you will have to have this separately. So I will do that in a separate video, the self-hosted version one. I will run that up in Azure probably and show you how that works in comparison, right? So we got two clients here or two networks joined here in this case. So we have here home network B and home network A, right? And here we have the internet in between, obviously. And so how this usually should work is this can be peer-to-peer. It only goes through the root servers or through the. So it usually this one initiates the peer-to-peer from A to B traffic. If not, it can be used as a traffic relay, meaning by default the traffic should go like this. So it will never pass through here. It just initiates the connection from A to B or B to A or whatever, right? However, if that for some reason is not possible, for example, in this network, there might be a firewall that prevents the needed ports, which are found in the documentation, from being open or a connection peer-to-peer being established, which can happen if you're behind a corporate firewall, whatever, right, where you don't have control over it. In that case, it will go and relay everything through the root servers. Yeah. So basically, that's pretty much it. How it looks like. Simple, quite straightforward. it can become quite complicated depending on how big your size will be, but it's still very easy and very simple to manage actually using the web interface. So uh, we have here our network, we have here our network ID, right? So you can just copy this here as well. You just click this and it's copied. So we go to our virtual environments that I have prepared. We have a Windows 11 here, right? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna download. Uh, we're gonna download the client. Gonna go to the ZeroTier website. Don't be shocked. This might be slow on the VM. Yeah, so 184, like I said, is the current latest one. We go to the download section, and you see there's packages for yeah, okay. There's packages for NAS, Synology, QNAP, I think, some Western Digital stuff. There's a package for FreeBSD, Linux. Then there's an app for Android and iOS, which I will also show later. And macOS, there's as well a client and Windows. Right now, I'm going to show the macOS as well, maybe as part of the video. So here we are ready, and it should download now. See if it does. There you go, it's done. Open file. We'll just go through the installation, which is really quick, as you can see. And while we wait for this, did I forget anything? No, we got everything. We gotta confirm this as well. And that's pretty much it. And we already see here the icon. More or less, we can already open the control panel. So we open the control panel. The control panel basically is the GUI front end to whatever we have here. Obviously, when it starts up, you get your ZeroTier address, which is the one that I showed you earlier. You could give to your admin, and they can add you from their end. We see the version, the status is online, the primary port. You can change that to whatever you want it to be, right? So to play around with this here, it could be 443, for example, or anything. And port mapping is enabled. So we have copied earlier the network ID, so we just copied it back here, and we're gonna say join network. Okay, so we joined the network, we're good. Now we just go back to the admin interface. Look at this one, and we should see here an unauthorized new client or member. Let's just wait, it takes a while sometimes. And while we wait for this, maybe you can also, so if you come to this GUI, right, you can expand this here, and you can see actually once we are connected, we will see our managed IP here, so our managed routers here, and also right now the status, as you can see, is access denied, because like we said, we created a private network, so it means the admin needs to actually authorize you to join this network, right? So by now I think this should be fine. Oops. So let's just refresh this here once more and scroll down here. There we go. There it is. So we give it a short name. We say it's Windows 11, and we say it's demo for Windows 11. And then we'll just authorize this here. And after a while, so this gives you the physical IP. Don't worry about it. It's my public IP, but this will change. I'll get a new one after the demo. So, and there we go. We are online. The version is 184, meaning it's the latest, and this is our managed IP that we received. So we go back now to the VM, and as you can see, this has changed already. To status is okay, your managed IP, and everything is fine now. So now you could say we have only one, so we can't see much yet because we have only one. So that's why we're going now to the Linux VM here that I have prepared, and here, if we say download, right? We also have The same for Linux. For Linux, it's very simple. It's just this command. That's it. If you're using GPG, you can actually verify the key. So for the purpose of this, we're just going to use this command. I copy this and then go back to our Linux VM here. Let me make this a little bigger. Okay, that's not great, but it's okay. It's okay, I cannot change this here. Maybe let me just connect to this via PuTTY for a while. Give me a second so I can make it larger. So basically, we cannot just run the command now that we copied from there. So go, paste it here. It's fairly simple. Hit enter and put the password for sudo. And that's more or less it. And as you can see, that goes quite fast. Couple of seconds usually before this will be done. This supports most Linux versions that you can think of at the moment. So as you see, it's done now. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna remember the node ID to verify that later. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the node to the existing network. So we're gonna use the ZeroTier -CLI command, join. Then we're gonna copy from the network. We're gonna copy the network ID, which you can find here on top. Yeah, you can just paste it here, enter, and that's it. And then we're gonna verify if it's online or not. You can do that with the ZeroTier CLI command and just ask for the status. Yeah, so status will tell you all is good in the world. And now we go to the next step. We're gonna verify that, and we also obviously we're gonna have to authorize that newly added node, right? So basically, very simple again. Refresh. Have a look at this. Scroll down. There you go. It's here already. So we got just give it some name and some description. At your own discretion, whatever you want to put there, and then we're gonna check the authorization. Hit. That should be fairly easy, right? So there you go, done. That's it. It will come online here and will show the version, which should be 184. There we go, all here, done, set. So obviously we have the IP here, and what we're gonna do next is we're gonna show you that this actually works by connecting from our Windows machine to the Linux machine using ZeroTier network via SSH. So for this, we're gonna go back to our Windows machine. Gonna open the command. So the SSH command comes by default in Windows 11, and I think in later Windows 10 versions as well. So we're just gonna use SSH here. Very simple, basically. Have a look. IP address, we check the IP address on the Linux box. As we can see, we have the main interface here, which is our standard LAN for my lab. And then we have the COT interface here, which has the IP that we talked about earlier, 67.12. So basically, we're just gonna copy this from here. Oops, sorry. Gonna copy it from here. There we go. And then just gonna hit that up here. Gonna do an SSH here, -L for the user, Sigmund is my user, and then the IP address, hit enter, it should ask us to, there you go, save the key, say yes, there you go, put the password, that's pretty much it, hit enter, and we are connected, there we go, that's all there is to it, it's very simple, and we have our first connection from one host to another host in our ZeroTier network, which is, I find that pretty cool. And I think as a next step, I'm gonna show you guys on how could we also do the same thing on the Android device. That will be very interesting too, I think. Okay, so now we're gonna show you, like I said, I'm gonna show you how to do the same thing with Android. I've connected to a different public provider, which is a 5G connectivity. So to show you that this actually works regardless where you are, as long as you have connection to the internet, right? So basically, let me pull over that casted screen from my Samsung device. So we're gonna put in the network ID, as you can see it here, 565799D 8F 60 3C 34E. That's pretty much all we need. We don't need to touch actually the route or anything of this. This maybe time for an advanced session that I'm gonna show this. For now, we just leave it all as is. We say add network, and it would be in the status unknown at this point, right? So now we can turn it on here, and it will still be in the status unknown because we have not authorized it yet. We're gonna do a real quick refresh here. And if we scroll down to the devices, we should see the new one. So this is the new one that we just added, right? So we're gonna just give it the name of Android, and that's it. Should learn how to type. And we're gonna say authorize. Give it a couple of seconds, it should connect and show us the version here, which I think would be 181. Yeah, there, it's expected. There's our IP. Okay, let's go back to the cast screen, right? So let me just open up a SSH app to demonstrate you now. So first of all, you can already see it's a different physical IP. So this is a totally different internet provider, totally different network. I'm more or less on 5G connected, so I'm connected to Wi-Fi, so I can connect the computer and the device to the same Wi-Fi because that's the requirement for the casting up, right? But it's a totally different provider from the one that those other machines run on, right? So the Linux server runs on a different network. Yeah. So basically, what we will do now is I use an app on the Android phone for SSH called Choose SSH, right? So let me show you this real quick here. So this is the app. Yeah. So we're gonna do this by doing a quick connect session here. First of all, we say Sigmund at 10 dot, what is it, 241 dot 67 dot 12. Save connection for the future. We can do that. Give it a second. Okay, there we go. Password we will need. Gonna put that in real quick. So basically that's it. Just gonna say remember for this one and say okay. There we go. Make this a little. I would love to make this a little bigger, but apparently there's no way in this app. At least I didn't figure it out yet. But basically you can see you can run now your basic commands now, whatever you want to run actually. For example, ps-ef, hit enter, you'll see all the running processes with details. And yeah, so basically this is now in a completely different public internet IP. Still, you can use this fairly easy with ZeroTier, access to your devices at home, access to your NAS at home if you like. You can do pretty cool stuff with this. And actually, for the next video, I'm planning to set this up completely without any hosted services, except for the cloud. So we're gonna run the back end infrastructure ourselves on the cloud infrastructure. Like I'm gonna use Azure for that next time. Yeah, and this is a pretty cool, underrated, and as you can see, for your personal use, it's completely free. It's underrated. It's very, very easy to set up. It works all the time. I never had an issue using this. I've been using this for a couple of years now, right? So this came out 9 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago. So with this, maybe the last thing I'm gonna show you is the same thing on a Mac, even though it's not much different from doing it on a Windows machine. But I'm gonna show it next. So give me a second for this.